Hello. It is the beginning of August. Oh, it's already the 8th of August. We had an adventurous weekend and not of the good variety. We spent a little bit of time in the emergency room and everything's fine. Everyone is fine. But so I'm a little late in getting the July harvest totals, but here I am, and so let's look at it. How much food did I harvest in August? So instead of going through every single thing I harvested, I'm just going to pull out the highlights because it was so much, and there's a lot of things. I've talked about this in some of my other videos. There's some things I don't weigh. I stopped weighing my herbs. Honestly, I stopped weighing the greens. So we currently have kale and Swiss chard, rainbow chard that we're eating. We also are eating purslane and beet greens, but I am not weighing any of that. I'm just going out and picking it, and we are eating it fresh as we harvest it. When I go to harvest kale to freeze, that will be in here, but otherwise. But this gives you a good idea of like the things that are overwhelming my kitchen. So the first thing are cucumbers, and to still be harvesting this many cucumbers when it's so hot is amazing to me. I know I've mentioned it in so many videos, but these two varieties of cucumbers that I'm growing, and this first one, I actually weighed them separately because they're so different. But the white martinis from Territorial are amazing. They can get huge and not get bitter. They can go through 100-degree heat and not get bitter. They will drop their blossoms. They are cucumbers. But as soon as the temperatures cooled down again, they started putting blossoms on again and started producing cucumbers again. Yeah, they are just amazing to me, and they will forever have a spot in my garden. So in August, I harvested 39.6 pounds of cucumbers, and that's a lot of cucumbers. So, and that's just of the white martini. Our eggplants are doing phenomenal this year. I made my second batch of baba ganoush yesterday, and it is so delicious, and it is so amazing to me that I can make baba ganoush. Totally everything other than the salt comes from my garden. So my recipe is eggplants, sweet peppers, onions, and garlic and salt. That's it. And you roast them I roast them on my barbecue and blend them all up. So delicious. So delicious. It's one of my favorite things to eat. Onions, in the beginning of August, I harvested the last of my summer onions, and I am already running low on onions. We use so many onions. So I had put 100 in the ground in the spring. We have already gone through all of our winter onions, and I am close to going through all my summer onions. I'm getting ready to start more onion starts to grow for winter onions, but unfortunately, I'm coming to a place where no matter, like, I've grown hundreds of onions. This year, I put 100 starts in the ground in the spring. I probably had 60 winter onions. So we just eat a lot of onions here. They make food taste good. So, you know. Okay, patty pan squash. I hopefully have we'll have a video shot about patty pan squash in the next few days, and that will probably be the next video that you see. I'm hoping to get that done. All of you mamas know that this is kind of a crazy time. We are preparing to send our children back to school in 2 days. No, tomorrow. I've never been good at back to school. Back to school after a pandemic, it's not going to be smooth. Luckily, my children are flexible, and it'll be fine. So patty pan, 51 pounds. This is from 6 plants, 51 pounds. And that's only in the month of August. I will eventually do like summer totals for the entire year, but 51 pounds of patty pan squash. It's a lot of patty pan. And I am going to talk about what we do with some of these foods. So hang tight for a second. I'll come back to that. Peppers, 10 pounds of peppers, which is a miracle to me. I have never harvested probably more than 2 pounds of peppers. They're so light. That 10 pounds doesn't seem like a light, but a fruit that's hollow, you know, they're really light. And I am very happy with that. We still have a ton of peppers and they will stay in the ground. I am considering adding some plastic to help increase the heat. So as it cools off, to try and get more of them to ripen. Tomatoes, the big number. So we are in the thick of tomato season, and this is the first big month for harvest is August, and we harvested 94 pounds of tomatoes. So that is from 18, maybe 16, I'm going to have to go count. It's roughly from somewhere 16 or 18 plants. So, and there's still a lot to go. The yard-long cucumbers, I told you I weighed those separately. I only have, I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 plants, I can't remember, but I've harvested 15 pounds of those. So they're not as prolific as the white martinis, but they make the most delicious cucumber salad that I have ever had. They don't go bitter. They're super crunchy. They're just delightful to eat. So, oh, and they grow up a trellis. I mean, other cucumbers do too, but these grow up a trellis really well. So, yeah, again, something that has found a permanent home in my garden is a yard-long cucumber. And then zucchini, which is a surprising number on the opposite end, is that we just haven't harvested as much zucchini as we normally have, but it's 23 pounds in August. So not an insignificant amount. So I have people ask me, what do you do with all that food? I am not a market gardener, which this isn't enough. Like, this isn't enough food for a market garden. I don't sell it. I do give it away, some of it away. Particularly this year, really the only thing we've really given away in any significant quantities is patty pan squash. Patty pan squash just makes me happy to grow. I'm happy to grow mass quantities of it and then try and get other people to eat it. It's so delicious. It's my favorite summer squash. We eat a lot of zucchini, but I don't cook with zucchini very often. Patty pan is my preferred summer squash for eating. I really love that it has an unusual quality where it will thicken a sauce. And so you can put it in with your onions and garlic as you're making a sauce in the beginning. It will hold up to that. It will hold up to that heat and being sauteed. And then it thickens your sauce. And then it's also just magic. We love to eat it sauteed, grilled. It's so good. So if you've never grown or tried patty pan squash, definitely give it a try. If you live near me and have never tried patty pan squash, you let me know. I'll hook you up. I've got a lot right now. So otherwise, what do we do with our food? So most of it, honestly, we eat it. We eat a very high, like a really vegetable-based diet. We aren't vegetarians. We eat meat. We just eat less meat than other people. We eat a lot of vegetables. Otherwise, so it depends on what it is. Peppers, I'll get frozen. I don't have a dehydrator. I do dry my herbs naturally, and I sometimes dry other things in the oven, but peppers don't take up very much room if you cut them up. So we freeze all of our peppers. Normally I would be buying peppers at the farmer's market to freeze. That's what I've done in previous years because we were only growing enough to eat fresh. We also freeze quite a bit of patty pan. It doesn't really hurt it to freeze it. It's not something that you would eat fresh. We always cook it. I went and grabbed one. Actually, I went and grabbed 2. Oh, Hi. They can vary in size quite a bit depending on when I pick them. This is the size that I prefer to pick them at, but they can get this size if I forget them for a day. They can get much bigger than this though. So they grow, they get big. They grow in a similar fashion to zucchini, where if you turn your back on them, they get big. So canning, I do can. My tomatoes are extra pretty this year because of the pineapple tomatoes. So I do can quite a bit of food. Mostly tomatoes. I am like a minimalist canner. I do tomatoes and jam. I am unlikely to do, I have done peaches and pears. I've done a lot of things in the past, but I am unlikely to do anything fussy. It's a lot of work and I don't mind cooking. I know a lot of people can to have like, they'll pre-make like their spaghetti sauce and can it. I'm not interested in that. I'll make it when I need it. I just want the vegetables preserved. Speaking of tomatoes, we have our new record tomato. Look how big this is compared to my face. So this tomato, it's variety pineapple. The variety pineapple has been my most prolific, like by far. They're so, and they taste amazing. So again, it's a new variety for me. It's another favorite. I will definitely be keeping it. But this giant tomato weighs 2 pounds, 8 ounces. It's so big. So that's our biggest one so far. Isn't that amazing? I don't know what that makes me so it's so ridiculous. It's so big. I also ferment certain foods. I don't ferment a lot of foods, but I had just made a batch of beet and red cabbage sauerkraut. Well, I haven't made it. I'm in process of making it. It takes a couple of days. This will not be canned. It will just go in our refrigerator. Pickles, I don't can pickles. Nobody here likes them. I mean, we like pickles. We don't like canned pickles. We just don't like the texture after they've been processed. So I make quick pickles a lot. We eat a lot of cucumber salad. We eat a lot of fresh cucumbers. And pickle relish, which I could can, but I don't. It lasts a really long time in your fridge. It's in vinegar. So that's what we mostly do with our produce that we produce. We eat it. We do preserve quite a bit of it and we share some of it. So the grand total for everything, which if you add the numbers that I just gave you together, will not come to this because I didn't share everything with you. Because there's a lot of like 2 pounds or 1 pound or, anyway, the grand total of pounds that I grew in August is 247.4 pounds. So a lot of food. Grew a lot of food in August. I hope that's interesting, helpful to you, and I will see you next time.